What's good, Favs? It's your fave, Miss Renee. You guys, we're back again. And tonight, yes, more good food for your soul. Hot topic conversation. So don't you dare miss out. Okay, family. So if you are new here to the Fav Miss Renee family, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for stopping by my channel. If you are catching this as an audio in Vision Radio family, you know I appreciate, love you all so very much. Now, if you are a part of Fav Miss Renee family here on YouTube, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so very much. You guys know that the love is always real here. Thank you for coming and sticking around. Thank you so much. Now, so ladies and gentlemen, I am also asking my faves to come on board over on Facebook. A lot is happening on Facebook. I'm always there. And as much as I love YouTube, I would say that Facebook just has so much more of me to offer. So please join me on my Facebook page. That's Fav, F-A-V, space, M-S Renee. No space between the S and the R. Okay? So Fav is my first name. Miss Renee is my last name there. Please come on in. Come on in. Now, a couple of things I got to say really, really quick. So, YouTube is saying to me that a lot of you are watching that are not yet subscribed. Please know, I need you to subscribe. Okay? That means a lot. It'll help me to grow my channel. If you enjoy Fav Miss Renee's content, please help me to grow. The way to do that, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment on the videos, right? And make sure that you share and give this video a big thumbs up. Those are all needed. It's very necessary. We're talking about the algorithm, which is really hard because there's so many people here. So, push me out, you guys. You got to push me out, okay? Don't forget, you got to subscribe, please and thank you. You've got to share. You've got to write a comment. And you've got to give it a big thumbs up. Big 4, okay? All right. Now, child, let's get into this session of good food for yourself. All right. So, my voice is still I'm drinking water. Probably shouldn't have ice cold water, but I was thirsty. So, the last good food for yourself video was all about your man's routine, girlfriend. So, if your man's routine changes and he doesn't allow you to change with that routine, what is going on? Yeah. So, again, follow me on Facebook because there's always a whole lot of chatter, especially in those reels, okay? You got to come on over to Facebook so you can join the family there as well. Those reels do generate a little bit more conversation, all right? So, go check it out. It's the routine, right? What happens or what does it mean when your man's routine changes with you? Not that his routine changes, but he changes his routine with you. Yeah, go check it out. Now, this video, this good food for yourself video, is all about women who stay versus women who leave after an affair. Okay? So let me make sure I'm being really clear here. Women who stay with their husbands versus women that leave their husbands after their husband has cheated. He's had an affair. So, yes, let's get ready to rumble, ladies and gentlemen. Let's chop it up. What would you do? Okay, so let's get real serious, right? Because cheating is a very serious situation. I don't joke about it at all. It's hurtful. It destroys lives. It ruins marriages. It's a separation of family. No laughing matter there. So let me also say that before we dive into this video, you guys know that these are always my opinions. How I really feel about certain conversations. Some things that I've lived through. And some things that I just share information with. But tonight's conversation is very personal. Indeed it is. I too have lived through such an awful thing. The awful terrible. I did. But let me let you know one thing. I'm not just a survivor of heart disease. The enemy has tried multiple times to take me out. But I serve an awesome and mighty God. And he's such a good God. That even when the enemy would try, God has said, not now. So, let's go on, child. Now, in my opinion, as I said, infidelity, cheating, an affair, whatever you side piece, whatever you like to call it, in my eyes and in my experience, it was devastating. It was absolutely devastating. At that time, it was the worst thing that I had ever lived through. And I would never want to live through it again. I would never even want to put myself in a position to go through that again. So I've talked to, of course, women that have stayed. I've talked to women, of course, that have left. But let me just say this, and this is just something that guys can attest to. You know, it's funny because a lot of conversations that I see and that I listen to are men giving women advice about dating relationships. Or it's always men telling a woman how she should do this or that. But you know, I said, Fav, you need to go on ahead and give your spin on it so that the sisters have information from a sister that went through it herself. And I'm still standing. So I don't believe, my opinion, but I don't believe that a man has yet mastered how to pay close attention, the same amount of attention to two women at the same time. I don't believe it. I don't believe that a man has been able, right? Yes, a man knows how to cheat. Absolutely. But in his cheating, in his affair, someone usually gets shortened a little bit. Because I've never dealt with a man that was able to be thorough in his cheating to where I didn't know. See? So I shared in the last video that I'm very in tune with my partner. I really am. And a man's routine is something to take note of, ladies, because men are usually very routine. So when the routine changes, what's going on? It's a red flag. Something's going on here. So I don't know of a situation that a man has been able to thoroughly cheat on his woman and she not be able to detect that there's a problem. Again, most men, I've never known one that can have two women at the same time that he gives equal amount of attention to, and that he never changes his routine so that neither of the women know of the other one. It's been my experience that that's the first thing that happens. That he's not doing the things that he used to do. That he's not coming and going the way he used to do. And girls, ladies, if you're paying attention to your man, you don't have to ask any questions. You will know. You will know. Yes, you will. You don't have to do no stakeouts. You don't have to do no drive-bys. You ain't got to call. You ain't got to do none of that. Just be still. Sisters, watch it. He'll always let you know what he's doing. You guys know that I was the woman that left. Of course, I opted to leave. It wasn't quick. It was long. It was a matter of me getting financially stable, finding a place to live. Of course, my children were coming with me. So it took some time. But know that from the moment I knew all of the details, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to stay. So for me, marriage is so much more than just a legal document that bounds two people together, but it is the commitment, right? And the intentional space that two people stand in as they vow and they promise forever to one another. It's so, so deep. I truly honor marriages. I truly honor them. And I always wish the best for both parties, that it will last truly in holy matrimony. Okay? As one of the things that God considers holy on this earth is matrimony. And it's not very many things that he considers holy. But marriage is a beautiful, sacred bond, sacred commitment between the two. So, I left. And there's a lot that went on to me leaving. So, watch that video series. It's 3 of them. Married to a Serial Cheater. Make sure that you, yes, watch those videos. Okay? So, I do believe that if you're going to stay, you need to know how to stay. I think there's a method to staying. From the people that I'm very close to that have opted to stay, and I do have in my mind right now 2 sisters that I'm thinking of that decided to stay. A lot of forgiveness had to happen. A lot of forgiveness had to happen. One of my sisters said he needs to be very cautious of her now triggers, right? Because I think when a man has cheated, and in my opinion as well, it's like taking an ice pick and you are picking away at your significant other, at your wife. You are stabbing her continuously with an ice pick. And not enough to kill her, just enough to hurt. So you have to be very mindful of your words, the things that you say, because she probably already feels a little less than in your life. she probably already has these feelings of inadequacy and not enough substance that is in her to keep her marriage together, to keep her husband from stepping out on her. Now, we know that it had nothing to do with her, right? Nothing. But the way a woman internalizes an affair, it takes a very long time, years, to process through that. And so, because of the process is so painful and the act itself is so disgraceful, that she does sometimes build a wall. And that wall also has trigger points all throughout the wall. So whose job is it to be aware of the trigger points? I would say the person that created them. I say the person that left the marriage, the person that created all this mess. Yes, you have to be willing to help clean it up. And it takes time. So her triggers are very important. You need to steer clear from her triggers. You need to try your best not to make her feel threatened or afraid or insecure because of your actions. Now, she's going to have to do some work for herself. This is true. She's going to have to forgive if she's going to stay. And she's going to have to learn how not to use that against you in every bad argument, situation, whatever, because it only breeds resentment from the person that cheated. Right? Because, okay, you're staying, but you're going to make my life a living hell. No. And then that just pushes them further away from you, right? If you are trying to restore, right, and to renew something that was dying, then you have to give it life. You have to nurture it. You have to try. You have to try. And that can be difficult. That can be very, very difficult. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? So, I think it's important to, when you're thinking about the woman that leaves, I will be very honest with you. When I left, I felt free. That's what initially, I felt freedom. Because again, I didn't leave overnight. It was a process to my leaving. So when I was able to really detach from my ex-husband, it felt like I had lifted a weight off of my chest and that I had unpacked a backpack of 50 pounds. It was an amazing feeling, a feeling of great joy and a feeling of I'm going to be okay. And I have been. I've been fine. I've been fine because I don't deserve to be mistreated. I know that I don't deserve to have that type of hurt in my life. And I didn't want to stare every day at the person that inflicted the worst type of pain onto me. I didn't want to stare at them every day. I didn't want to look at them every day. I didn't want to have to watch you walk every day. I didn't want to listen to you breathe every day. I just wanted to put distance between me and the person that was supposed to love me and take care of me and treasure me. That they didn't. I wanted to get away from that person. I didn't even want to share oxygen in a room. Oh, come on, y'all. I just like, we need to put some space here. I needed that for me. Because I needed that for me because in actuality, I was truly suffocating. Okay? Now, leaving and initially feeling the weight lifted, yes. But it still took years to begin the healing. It wasn't overnight. I had to heal. I had to release the pain and I had to be willing to trust and love again. But I did establish healthy boundaries for myself. Oh, yes, I did. And those boundaries I live by right to this day. I do believe in watching more so than looking and snooping. I believe in being mindful and watchful. I believe that you should know. I believe that it's up to us to take care of ourselves. And also, another fact, if she's trying to stay, the truth needs to be told in its entirety. No more lies. Everything needs to be on the table so that she can process and deal with it one time in its entirety. Don't try to leave key little things out, because as those things come out, she has to relive it all back over again. So if you want her to stay, if she's willing to try and fight and stay with you, no more lies, no more secrets. Say it all. You need to sit her down as lovingly as you can. You need to be as sorrowful as you can. You need to mean exactly that you're sorry. It was an awful, terrible thing. But you need to say it one time so that she can process one time. And here's another thing. Don't be mad when she needs to ask questions. Don't do it. That's also a trigger. Allow her to go through those steps of grief, because that's what she's doing. As she's trying to stay with you, she's also grieving what she now sees that she didn't have with you. Because in her mind, the whole time, you guys were together. It was a union. So now she has to allow that to die so that she can begin again with you in rebirth. That takes patience, kindness, forgiveness, understanding, and above all things, love. Love. I don't think that cheating definitely is an end-all be-all. I don't agree with it, though. Don't play with me. I think it's a cop-out. I think it's a way that people don't do the work. I don't think marriage is ever intended to be easy. No, it's work. It's two people that have agreed, that have intentional desires to cohabitate together, to live and bring their worlds together, and to make it work, to mesh it all together and find that it's good. And I think it does take work and discipline and determination and all of these things. I do. But I also believe that it's possible if you want it bad enough. Now, once someone has disturbed that peace, my God in heaven, it takes a lot to gain it again. But it can be done. With two parties, no one blaming the other, because that is an awful place to be. The blame game. You did this and you did that. Listen, let's take ownership. We've made a mess of this. We made a mess of it. How do we correct it? What do we need to do? I would definitely advise getting into some good spiritual counseling. Yes. That's what I would advise. I would advise getting a deeper, closer connection with God. And forgiveness has to be something that you're both willing to do. Absolutely. It's possible. It's possible. Okay, I really did not want this to run too long. So leave me comments down below so we can get into the meat and potato of this together. I left. I was the woman that left. But every woman doesn't leave. And cheating, although it's very embarrassing, it's very devastating. Doesn't always mean the marriage is over. But it's going to take a whole lot to bring it back. Resuscitate your marriage. Bring it back to life. Oh, baby, it's an act of God. It's an act of God. But it can happen. So, we're going to press pause. We're going to come back. We're going to revisit this again because the third video is going to be posted here very shortly. I'm hoping the next couple of days. Yes. And we're going to switch it up because we've talked about the fellas a lot. Oh, yes. With the first video being his routine and how it changes. And it didn't change with you in it. And then now this video, which is the woman that leaves versus the woman that stays after his affair. So now, let's look at ourselves, sisters. This next video is going to be entitled, Backbiting Sisters. Oh, yes, honey. Stay tuned. All right, guys. So for now, I'm getting ready to go. Get ready for work tomorrow. As always, keep your heads up and your eyes open. Open wide. You have a lovely evening. I'll see you on the next video. Mwah. Good night.